I want it back in my...
Distributor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That would be secondary. This would be secondary ground. This would be primary 12 volts. This will be primary ground. Ignition coil number 1 control goes to the computer. So that would be ground side switch, ignition coil. You got sensor ground for the camshaft position sensor inside of the distributor housing, the 5-volt supply, and the signal. So 1, 2, and 3 are for the camshaft position sensor signal. 12 volt for the primary. Ground switch for the primary. This goes to the spark plugs, and this is the ground for the secondary. So that's what that is. Might be a little confusing at first glance, but it's as easy as that. So you would check for ground here, you would check for 5-volt supply, you would check for the signal, and that's the camshaft position sensor signal. Where we're going is to right here. We are going on this wire, and we're going to go with the scope, and we're going to check on voltage the ignition coil number 1. That goes, we're going to go straight to the computer. We're going to check that. Also, we're going to be hooked up to the CMP sensor signal right here. Okay, so we're going to hook up the CMP sensor signal. We're also going to hook up to ignition coil number 1 control. Here I'm at the computer. I got the T-pin. This is camshaft position sensor, and that's the ignition coil. I got ground right there. That's what we're looking at. This is where the spark is going to occur. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook up the yellow wire to the right now it's on the camshaft position sensor. I'm gonna hook it up to the crankshaft position sensor, and we're gonna take a look at that. So that's ignition control, the red wire, and that's camshaft position sensor. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook it up to crankshaft. You see that drop out? that there crankshaft position sensor and ignition control for the distributor. Let's take a look. Zoom in. So you got 6 cylinders. So this is the 6 cylinders basically. You got 1 firing, 2 firing, 3 firing, 4 firing, 5 firing, 6 firing. So in other words, this one right here is probably cylinder number 1. So you got cylinder number 1, cylinder number 2, cylinder number 3, cylinder number 4, cylinder number 5, 6, or whatever the firing order is. It knows because of this. So that's the coil firing, and it died. And that's why I'm checking this whole system, because I do have a problem with the distributor. I need to change out the cap and router and the wires. Anyways.